The BHP podcast is presented by BowHunterPlanet.com. Join the hunt.
Support for this podcast is provided by Cold Steel Knives, HHA Sports, Grind Life Coffee, Skull Hooker, Scott Archery, and Burris Optics.
Hey everyone, this is Tim from BowHunter Planet. Make sure you check out the new podcast, Respect the Game, wherever you find your podcasts.
Let's mount up!
Hello, welcome to the BowHunterPlanet.com podcast. Myself, Dave Thomas, along with Tim the Mazarana.
Hey guys.
And welcome to the show, and we hope everybody's having a great night. And Tim, tonight is a really exciting night for me, and do you know why?
Why?
Because we have the one, the only, legendary from Xpedition Archery, Chris Cobbett.
You guys are already,
Woo! Ow!
Yeah.
already live early in the evening.
All right, show's over. Let's go.
Chris, always a pleasure to have you on the show, man. Seriously, it's a lot of fun. And just like when we pranked you at the ATA show, said your bows are getting stolen. You gotta run out there. It's the police.
I know, you're so mean. You guys are really.
You're welcome.
You're sharp.
So, because there's nothing that you really do at the ATA. Let's be honest.
Right. I wasn't busy at all then. I mean, I just walked around looking at other bow companies,
Sneaking beers in there.
Resumes.
All right, Chris, so let's talk about Xpedition's 2020 lineup. So what you got for us? I already know what the answers are, but I have to ask you, obviously. Yeah. It works better if you tell us, but let's hear it.
So, the 2020 lineup, we're super proud of it. Last year we came out, broke in basically with the Mako X, got a lot of notoriety, got the brand out there, put it back in all the major shops, got it on the tip of the tongue of the archery community. So, okay, great. We did that. Now what do you do to follow it up? It's not like we've been doing this for 20 years and it's just cycling through the next wave of innovation. We knew that we needed to come out with another set of bows that were a big splash. So to be honest with you, we built upon the success of the Mako. So we went ahead and did the MX series. That's what the Mako X is for. That's the MX there. Now you know something.
Nice. Learned something today. Thank you.
Learned something because we thought about it.
I'm accomplished.
The VP that runs the plant, Kurt Headington, he's the best guy for the job. He knows archery in and out. People love him. He's doing a great job, basically controlling the tide of the brand. I mean, that's his day to day. And him and I go back and forth about marketing stuff. What's the name? Do we call it this? Do we call it that? And when it comes to naming bows, at the end of the day, they're really accepting. The archery community is very nice because people come up with dumb names all the time. I mean, we could have called it the Fluffy, and eventually people would have been just like, oh yeah, I love that bow. It shoots great. You shoot the Fluffy?
I'd buy it just because it's Fluffy.
But so we got down. We're like, are we going to call this thing like the Mako X, or we're just going to abbreviate it? So we came to an agreement, and we decided with the MX 15 and 16. And the MX series of bows, that's kind of our flagship. And it was basically, the concept was to take the speed, take the smoothness that we had done with the Mako, make sure that we can do it with a rotating mod so that it was convenient to our dealers, and give a different look to it. So many people, so many of the people in the hunting and archery community, to be honest with you, they're just sick of getting the same old thing regurgitated. And if I'm not trying to call out names, I'm just saying there's a lot of people that are like, you know what, I like that bow line, I like that, but I've been waiting for something new from them. They're a great bow, but I'm waiting for something new. And they feel like every year they get pumped up for the launch comes out, and they look at it and they say, it's really the same thing as last year's bow. And we've been doing that for a couple of years.
Who are we talking about?
No.
Just kidding.
No, you don't do that.
If you had to pick one company.
Yeah, Chris, if you could put one company out of business, who would it be?
Hey, you brought it up.
Rhymes with. No. So, our goal was to do something different. Like, absolutely put a different look to it. Make it something that is aesthetic and functional. So we basically made a cage riser. We changed the weight distribution, and we made this thing convenient to shoot, a speed freak, and to add the one thing that we think better than anybody else, and that's make it a smooth shot cycle. So that's what we did with the MX series. The Escape, so we went back for the other bows that are in the line. We kind of went back to history, and because so many of our guys, when you have a company like ours, it's a cult following. You've got those loyalists, the guys that have been there for a long time, and they want a new version of the thing that they love the most. And I respect that. I think that's awesome. I think that it's great to have people like that and have that grassroots support. And I adhere to it. So the guys are like, you know what? We need a new Explorer. The Explorer SS was a bow that was in the line for a number of years. And depending on who you ask, it was the best bow that Xpedition had ever made. So we went back and said, we need a good 30-inch axle-to-axle bow that's going to be a speed freak, that's going to do what our other bows do, that meets basically the old specs of the Explorer SS with a new innovative twist to it. So when you look at the Escape, that's kind of what we did. And the reason we called it the Escape is because we have a great relationship with the people over at Realtree. Those guys have been nothing but good to us. I was actually down there earlier in the week, spent a couple days down there in Georgia with them. And when we were in negotiations or when we were in talks last year about what we were doing for the different camos, they were like, oh, come back here in the secret squirrel room and let us show you this new pattern that we're doing. Shockingly called the Escape pattern. And we said, oh, that's really awesome. Let's do that on a bow, and we'll call the bow the Escape. We'll spell a little different, and we will incentivize Realtree to use our bow in a lot of their press releases and publications. It's like marketing 101 stuff,
Yep.
They were like, oh, it works good for us. It works good for you. We think we got this kick butt bow. So let's put your paint job on it and we'll send it out there. And let's talk about your camo people. You can talk about our bow. It'll work. Rounding out the lineup is the DLX. And again, that was the same sort of thing. So the DLX is really the Denali LX. I mean, that's where it comes from. So
I see a pattern here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I see a pattern here. You guys just don't like the spell.
Right. Well, if you worked with the people I work with, you'd get it, right? So the DLX, because it was 3 letters, we could spell that. That was supposed to be the crossover bow because the Denali had been a bow that was designed for the hunting market and for the target shooter market. So if you could do either one, we get just as many requests for that bow in camo as we did in target colors. So we went ahead, we did the DLX, again, had a cage style riser to it. The specs on that thing were, it's pretty fast for a target bow coming in, in the mid 340s, pushing up towards 350. The brace height matches a good target bow. The weights are going to go from 40 up to 70. So those are the specs on it, but it's designed to be comfortable for both the target archer and for the hunter. And we thought, this is a great thing. Historically, the Denali was about 15 to 20% of total sales. And because it's a target crossover bow, we expect it to be the same. That bow has been a rock star. Like, absolutely. Every now and then I make a mistake that is a good thing. And the mistake is that we thought this bow would be 15, 18% of sales, and it's like 42% of sales. And to be honest with you, it's our most expensive bow. It's not cheap. It's cheap in terms of value. Value for money, it's awesome. From MSRP of $12.49, you're going to go win Vegas every year, guaranteed. So I'm just joking about that.
I decided not to laugh just to make
but it's a great bow. And
to stand behind
can't build it fast enough. That's the bow that people seem to want. It's crazy, but I'm willing to ride that wave.
Yeah.
So
now, what do you specifically attribute that
2020
to?
line.
So what do you specifically attribute the increase in the usage of the Denali to? Yeah, I get it's a hybrid. It's good for hunters and archery, but or for target. But is there something about that bow, like the draw length setup, because I see it's probably it's a longer draw length than you can get to in a normal bow.
Yeah, I think that's probably the key.
Yeah, is that what you guys really kind of are hearing from the people that are buying it?
I think that it's just a dream to shoot. I think that we didn't put, here's how right? Like, I'm a marketing guy. Like, I'm always looking for how did the market do? What did we do? We did this, it did that, how we figure it out, and, try to analyze the witchcraft that is, marketing in the archery industry. But here's the deal. We didn't do squat for traditional marketing for this bow. We put a lot of our, television, print, all that kind of stuff into our flagship MXs, and those were doing extremely well. This bow is doing well because of word of mouth, because guys are putting it in a shop and they're shooting it and they're going, hey, you're my friend. I don't even really like you, but I'm going to tell you about this bow anyway. and they tell everybody they know, and that's where those sales are coming from. The sales are literally word of mouth. Archers telling other archers, and that is the best kind of advertising. Not only is it very inexpensive, but it's the best because it's true believers, and that's what's moving the needle for the DLX for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, I was blown away by the Escape, to be honest, as well, because of the size, And I know we talked about it already, but I had to come back to it because I love a small bow, and I know you're a huge hunter as well, and for me, I really like the idea of having a bow that's lightweight, small, compact, and can get me in and out of a tree stand easily. Has a sick look to it, has a lot of great features to it.
Good grip.
Great grip, and amazing looking riser. So, I mean, is this I guess my question would be is, from your perspective, are bow hunters do they move towards a bow like this that's a little bit smaller, or do you think they're going more for like the M15, MX15, MX16?
I think my opinion is the meat and potatoes is like an MX16. It's when you can get the 6-inch brace height bow in a 32 axle to axle. I think that's the meat and potatoes. When you can do that bow the best, you're hitting that bell curve of archers. But you can't ignore those segments because those other segments are huge. I mean, there's the guy that this bow comes from that Explorer SS. That Explorer SS comes from archers telling us they need a compact, maneuverable bow in the stand. I mean, we get a lot of guys that are pulling in tight spots. For this bow, I had a guy out in New York. He called this bow the Coastal Killer because he was all urban hunting. Everything was super tight. They had to scam places to put in a blind or a tree, and he goes, "We need a bow that's not in the way. I need a bow that's convenient, and I got to go in and I got to go and do my thing." And the Escape kind of fits that guy.
Yeah. So let's talk about real quick the concept of the colors, because I know we mentioned Realtree, and that's great, and I love Realtree. They do a great job, but at the same time, you guys are killing it on these solid colors, the black, the sand, and the OPS green that look unbelievable. Just like on the web, I mean, it looks incredible. Are you seeing like a mixed batch of what consumers want, or are you seeing like camo people, but also standard colors?
It's literally like 50-50.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's like 50-50. It's now on the hunting colors, the black, the tactical sand, the ops green, like that. We see a lot of that in the hunting market. We've increased our offerings on the target side, and our target finishes are second to none. We put, Kurt and I both put a lot of time into researching basically, the technique, the machinery, like everything that went into. We spent, I'm telling you, months looking at facilities that could do the color on our bows correctly.
Nice.
And we finally found one, and we found one. So a lot of guys are doing a lot of fun facts for you, but that's not a paint, actually. It's actually a powder coat.
Okay.
But it's decorative.
Interesting.
It's harder, and it's going to last longer, and it's more durable because of its powder coat. But you'd never know that. To look at our target colors, they shine, they're gloss, they're every type of gloss that you'd want to do. And so we had originally looked at doing just powder coating, then we were going to do a decoration over that. And then we ended up finding guys that could do both. Like literally, they were doing high-end Harleys and things like that. They were doing finished product, high-end, $30,000 bikes. And I said, well, show us your process. And they did. And we're like, okay, could you do it on a bow? So we tested on a bow, and it came out, perfect. We were like, this is
cool.
Awesome. And so that's...
Why are you giving away secrets on this show? I don't know why you're giving away secrets. This is secrets.
Sorry, I can't. I know. My wife says the same thing. She's like, if you want to keep a secret, don't tell you, because you're just going to tell.
Dude, this nuclear green is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm partial to do that Patriot Red for me, man.
Yeah.
It just kind of pops, but it's really cool, man. I actually, it's
Renegade
pretty interesting.
Purple. That's cool. Yeah, really cool.
You have to see it. You have to see it in person. Like, you have to go to a shop, because you should always go to an Xpedition dealer. You should always be visiting your local shop. But you have to see these things. The target colors, you got to see them in person, because as much as I think we do great with photography and all of that stuff, they still don't do it justice. That thing pops when you see it in person.
Oh, I can imagine. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about the media and the marketing behind Xpedition. What can people expect to see this year? Is there certain things that you guys are working on, or giveaways with BHP type stuff that you guys are working on at a larger level? You know what I mean? Like what's
We're definitely increasing our giveaways with you guys.
No, but really, you guys have some things planned in the works, like any kind of hunts or anything. Because I know you're a huge hunter. You're always out in the field, basically. Every time I call you, you're like, I'm in the
research
stand.
and development. What
I'm
that
in
is.
the stand. I'll call you later.
Is that what you tell your wife too?
I tell her every time that on the ones that she doesn't get to go on. So yeah, no, we're excited.
Man.
Marketing started off at ATA show. I mean, if you guys were there, we did the Resurgence event. Basically, we teamed up with the Rock Ridge guys, and because we have a number of brands under Xpedition Enterprises now, we married that with some of the brands from Rock Ridge, and we put on a dealer event. It was offsite at the Egyptian Room, and we brought in our 3,500 closest friends, and just did a big rock concert.
Well, wait a minute. Time out.
We did.
Time out.
Yeah. What, did you not go?
I did not see no invite.
Hold on.
Okay, then you didn't. Okay, then you didn't go to the bathroom at the ATA.
He didn't even go to the ATA. He
Well,
didn't even go to the ATA. Don't let him fool you.
Why are you throwing me under the bus, Tim?
No, it's the BowHunterPlanet in a solar system that is not at the ATA.
Oh man, no. Well, we were
Tim
there.
was there.
We were there.
I
Dave
hurt
was
my
not
back.
there.
I've
Dave
hurt
was
my
not
back.
there. That's what he said.
Oh.
Nobody believes him.
So yeah, we started the year with a Resurgence event. We had Craig Morgan, Sadie Bass. We did a big dealer event, and basically just got to promote the brand, And then
That's cool.
we followed that up. We sponsor a number of television shows. I mean, if guys used to tell us, I haven't really heard about your brand yet, and I'm like, look, I'm not saying that we're there, like by a long shot. I'm not saying we're in every dealer in the country. I'm not saying any of that. But I'm saying if you're an archery dealer in this country and you have not heard of our brand at this point, it's because you live under a rock.
Right.
We're everywhere I think we want to be on TV. We put a lot into the digital space. We participate in all the reviews. We're strong in the print market. And we're doing a lot of things, outside of Xpedition Archery that help Xpedition Archery grow the brand. We've got into the crossbow market this year. We've got into the clothing side with Element Clothing. We own our own marketing company. We do a land management program with Realtree. We do a number of other things that just are trying to grow the brand organically, and as a result, it's putting more focus back on the bows at the end of the day. We moved we own our television show. We took it from Discovery Channel, put it the Given Right. We put that back on. We put that on the Sportsman's Channel, and we put it right basically smack dab in the middle of the Realtree block. And here's a fun fact: big announcement, world premiere on BowHunterPlanet, making this announcement. So this year's show is title sponsored by Realtree. So it's
Nice. That's awesome.
Yes, it's Realtree's The Given Right. And here's the fun fact about that. It's the first time, and I was at Realtree to confirm this fact. It's the first time Realtree has title sponsored a show that they themselves didn't produce. So like if it wasn't their own show, like at Real Trips or Monster Bucks, it's the first show they've title sponsored and put their name on.
That's
so
awesome.
We're super excited about that.
I'm excited too. I want to air some of that stuff that we can air. Remember, we had to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get that stuff on
we're all
BHP
over
Network. And we got to get Kenneth on
that's
too.
What we got to go on the market space.
Get Kenneth on, chat with him, talk about that show because that's exciting. Hey, let's talk about. We'll come back to that in a second. But I really want to talk about this crossbow because it's very exciting. Is it on the website yet? Like, how do we get more info on this thing?
BowHunterPlanet YouTube channel. We had coverage.
I don't
on
even
it
know
at
if
the
it's on the
ATA.
website. I'm the worst marketing guy in the world. I don't even know if it's on the website.
I didn't see it on there. That's why I'm asking. I want to. I haven't really got a chance to really see it besides the guys getting some clips at ATA. I'm sure we'll have it on the review show soon, but that's really exciting.
Yeah, we're in there. We're in that world now.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's cool. That's really exciting. And I'm assuming you guys now. What did you guys do for something like that for like research and development? I mean, did you hunt with it last year? I guess.
Yeah, so here, I'd love to give you this great story about this is the result of years of research, and it really wasn't. It really was, honestly, by default. If I'm being honest with you, what our sales group had handled another crossbow manufacturer, and they had parted ways, and so they had an opportunity to do crossbows, and I was like, well, we can do crossbows, we can crossbows,
Yeah.
So we just have to engage in that market. So we got involved with some people that were already in that world, and fast tracked a couple designs, some upgrades, and basically put together what we felt was a quality product. It was on short terms, and we got on that project probably September of last year. We had our very first production samples at the ATA show. The people that work at the booth for us, they all wanted to kill me because I took the crossbows and I hung them in the booth. And they didn't know anything about them. They're like, how fast is it? How much they are? And I'm like, well, I don't know. We'll figure it out on day 2. I'll tell you all about it. I'll go write some stuff down.
That's
and
hilarious.
I didn't do a press release. We didn't advertise. It was literally the worst marketing effort ever. And we sold, just so you know, we sold an equal number of crossbows as we did to bows at the ATA show, and we sold a pile of bows.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't. We had 4 majors, 4 box stores come in and request to carry the bow. I hadn't even thought about it. Like, it was one of those things I had to pretend like I knew what I was doing.
Right.
Anyone that's in time with me, they'll figure out that most of the time I don't. So I'm just trying to get through the day. So these guys come over at major accounts that you'll see the bow in this fall, and they're like, oh, we want to carry the bow, and I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. I hadn't even done pricing. I hadn't even done a program. I hadn't written anything up for that level of a dealer. So I'm like, oh, and so I literally, they had those tables off to the side at the ATA show. You'd know about that, Dave, if you went, but they had tables there. So I went over there. I took a napkin, and I started writing numbers down and working out the numbers to try to look like I knew what I was doing. By the time these guys came back, I'd made a little spreadsheet, and we could actually start presenting. Oh, you guys still there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're here.
Oh, my phone said paused. So the guys came back and we started placing it, and we're super excited about it. So like our flagship for that line is the X415. It shoots 430 feet per second. We put the upgrade scope on it, so it does a red or a blue illuminated scope. It's super high quality, aircraft grade aluminum rails. It's got a machine. You can tell just by the machining work in the prod. It's got a very fast power stroke, and it's just a quality piece. I mean, you can shoot this bow out 80, 90, 100 yards, and you're going to get super consistent shooting. You'd be impressed with it. And it's a mid price point. It retails at $699. It's going to go out the door in most places at $599.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's going to be a great crossbow in that mid price point, which is a market that we literally went after because we felt like people were ignoring it. There's been this huge race to the bottom in crossbows where you can go out there and get a $299 crossbow, but you really have to look at what you're getting in that crossbow.
Right.
And then
For sure.
the $2,000 crossbows, they're selling great. They really are. It's no secret out there that the companies like Raven, they're doing great. They make a quality product, and those crossbows earn their money. I would never say a bad word about them. I think they're super high quality products. They do well at long ranges. They have great delivery systems, decockumented. They're good, right? We're not in that world yet. Like we're looking for the guy that's looking to spend in that mid price point. And we're going to deliver him a quality product at that price. And that's kind of where we're choosing to live. That we're already working on our 2021 designs for crossbows, which I think are going to be awesome. They're just totally unique. They got great looks to them, and you're going to be able to look at our crossbows in 2021 and know instantly, oh, that's an Xpedition crossbow.
That's
so
exciting.
That is.
We're in it. We see that there's a market for it, and we want to. I don't want to be so set in my ways that I'm an archer, and I love being an archer. I love shooting our bows, but I'm not going to ignore the segment of the population that chooses to shoot crossbows, because you know what? Here's the thing. Here's a fun fact. I love shooting a crossbow. I love it.
No,
we all do it over here.
On Facebook from 5 years ago, every time I went across, I used to take the kids hunting all the time in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, places they could use, Ohio, where they could use crossbows. And I'd sit there and they'd shoot one, and I'd say, hey, is it my turn? Do I get to shoot a deer with a crossbow? I love crossbowing. You know why? Because it's fun. People are always like, well, they want you to justify it. Well, crossbows are great for tiny children, or if you're basically, a human head in a glass bowl, like all those people can use a crossbow. You know what? I love using a crossbow. It's fun. I'm a fully functional adult male, and I love shooting a crossbow.
And you have the right to do that.
Right.
Tim's been fighting this fight for a couple.
No,
for 2
well,
years.
yeah, but I mean, just my thoughts real quick. Yes, number one, it's a growth area, right, for everybody right now. Everybody's still, moving into that. Everybody realizes kind of the benefit as time goes on. the benefits of a crossbow. But I also truly believe too, in the hunting industry, we've seen a big decline in people hunting. And I think it's a great way to bring some of those, not all of them by any means, because you're always going to have that divide, but some of those gun hunters into a different season as well.
Yeah.
So you open yourself up to a whole new
hunters,
group of people.
kids,
New hunters,
more
it makes
kids.
it easy. I couldn't agree. I mean, if we want to promote this industry, we got to stop having the conversation of do I shoot a vertical or do I shoot a crossbow?
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
my thought is that for me, last year was a great example. I carried a compound bow and a crossbow into hunt camp every time I went.
Yep.
And it just depended on how I felt, to be honest. If I was like tired or groggy, I took the crossbow. If it was going to rain or snow, I took the crossbow. And I purposely did that to basically protect the way I felt about the hunt, right? I just was like, I don't feel comfortable today shooting a compound.
And you know what? You probably wouldn't
I
have
had
harvested what you harvested last year.
Maybe
without
not. That was a
crossbow.
far shot. Yeah. I agree with that.
It was a quick far, and it was a little awkward.
So, Chris, the question becomes, which bow do I use for turkey coming up? Which model? Do I go crossbow? Are you going to have me one in time?
I mean, they all work.
Or do I go compound? Or do I do both?
I've been shooting the MX-16 pretty much all year, and I'm going to shoot pretty much anything that I go after with that bow. I don't discriminate against turkeys. Although, to be fair, I can't lie, because some people, there's like 2 people maybe out there that follow me on Facebook or social media, and they're going to see, because of course our guys give me so much crap during turkey season. I will shoot at least 1 turkey, maybe 2, maybe 5 with a shotgun. You know why?
I haven't done that in a while.
Fun. And
It
I
is
like
fun.
to use a shotgun.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
The bow, but I like to hunt, guys. I like to hunt. I like to shotgun hunt and crossbow hunt and bow hunt. And if they had a hand grenade or bazooka season, I'd do that too.
Yeah.
So
I think for me,
I'm not afraid to mix it up for sure. I
Yeah.
enjoy all of that stuff. So you're gonna see some shotgun kill turkeys, but you're gonna see. I got to do a spring bear hunt. I'm forced to. I'm going on a spring bear hunt. I'm looking forward to.
It's for work, babe.
I'll wait for my
Last year I
plane
used the
ticket.
bow. I most always use the bow on my spring bear hunts, but I think I'm gonna use a crossbow this year. I
Nice.
think I'm gonna give that one a call to action.
That'd be
that's my plan.
sweet. That'd be really
That
cool.
would be.
All right, Chris Cobbett, man, appreciate you
Crossbows
coming
are
on
fun.
and having fun with us. And we'll check in again with you in a couple of weeks and see where you guys are at on all the stuff going on this year with all the brands. I know you got a lot more brands to talk about, so we'll have that on. And actually, we should have Kenneth on at the same time. That'd be kind of fun.
That would be fun. Absolutely.
So we can talk about
Little north and
then we can
south.
get into the hunts. That's the other fun part, right? Talk about all the different hunts you guys are planning and all the work behind the production, right? There's so many fun things with hunting shows and all that part of the business that it's cool to talk about, and it's things that people don't really know, and so it makes it kind of exploring, like kind of exciting, like, oh, Realtree sponsoring? Well, what's that all about, and how does it work? And people love that stuff. Or you guys could just come on into Detroit and hang out. We could like smoke some food and chill.
Bring one of those turkeys you get.
Yeah. That could
Absolutely. Or you guys could come out and turkey hunt.
be fun. That would be
there we
kind of
go.
cool.
There we go.
Where are you guys
I
doing
love
that
it.
at? What state you would be in for that?
Well,
See, now he's called his bluff.
No,
Called his
no.
bluff.
So-
He's like, well.
sometimes I go to Georgia, like Kansas, but here's the deal, guys. There's nowhere I like more than right here in Maine. When people are like, oh, Maine's got turkeys.
No.
I didn't even know that.
I'll come see you in Maine to go
They're awesome. It's awesome
Right.
here.
go lobster fishing.
Right? That'd be awesome.
Yes, you can do the combo lobster/turkey. hunt.
That
We
would
do-
be
We
cool.
do offer that.
A little surf and turf.
That would be cool. And whatever kind of Maine beers there are,
What do you call
what
them?
kind of beers you got in Maine? What kind of the big brands there?
Oh,
Micros.
Maine is like microbrew center. All of New
Nice.
England is like loaded with microbrews. There's
Give us a
like,
couple examples of a brand that you like there.
I like rum and coke. So it's not good.
All right. Let's go this direction. Favorite
I just know
lobster
there's a lot
bisque.
of them.
Favorite lobster bisque.
Favorite lobster? What?
Bisque.
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely a chowder kind of guy. I do the seafood chowder, lobster chowder.
All
A
right.
bisque is it's more of the pureed lobster. I'm not a huge fan. I like
You're
I
a
What's
like
that mean? They
purist.
blend it or
You're a
something?
Gotta be
purist. I
They
love
blend
it.
it
gotta
or
see
something?
the lobster meat. You got to see it. Claws flying out. No puree. No
Hey, when you're in Georgia, there is a beer company there called Sweetwater Brewery, and it is amazing. I keep trying to get Tyler to send me some from Georgia. It's Sweetwater Blue. It's a blueberry beer, and it is unbelievable.
Sounds
Can't get it in Michigan. Sucks.
not like a Jack and
Sucks.
Coke.
I just had it in Florida. It was in Florida. And it was amazing. Anyway, all right.
I like it. I'm down with it. It sounds like, the yin and the yang together. Blueberry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about Yingling?
I like a Yingling. There's a good beer. That's
All right,
that's
Chris.
a Pennsylvania beer, though.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. Yeah,
But
we don't
it is
even get it
good.
in Michigan.
Don't get that in Michigan either.
Talk. See, that's why. Why do you live in Michigan? Maybe you should move.
Small deer, bad beer. No, I'm just kidding. We gotta get some.
Small deer, bad beer.
I'm putting,
We do not have bad beer
Listen,
in
I just
Michigan.
patented that. Nobody. Small deer, bad beer. Hashtag.
That's why they
Michigan.
get those stupid Busch Light orange bundle of beers you buy to go on hunt camp. Who the hell wants that
man,
thing?
that's awesome.
Jeez, oh, Pete, spend an extra $5 for the Bud Light. All right, Chris Cobbett, Xpedition Archery. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Anytime, guys. Have fun.
All right, have a good one, man. We'll see you. Bye.